is there a way that we do get connectivity between all these worlds if we bring Ben Affleck back in a supportive role as an older Batman who passes the mantle on to the world's greatest detective? Seems like the tide is pointing that way, except for the fact that I don't think Matt Reeves wants that to be the story. I think Matt Reeves just wants to make his own Batman movie and not worry about any of this other crap. And Ben Affleck has said or intimated as much that he's not returning to the role of Batman. But is he really gone for sure?
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing official. It's like, the reports were saying, okay, Matt Reeves' Batman is focusing on a younger Batman, and then Ben Affleck kind of retweeted the Deadline article and said he's excited and looking forward to Matt Reeves' vision come to life, right? He didn't say, I'm out. Right. I'm assuming that he is, but if they bring him back, I think it'll be in like a flashback type of thing, like where it's like Ben Affleck thinking about when he was younger. So less of a passing of the mantle thing and more of like, oh, I remember, 20 years ago when I did this, and then that's the story. That would be maybe the way that he would show up in there and connect to the larger universe. But other than that, maybe it's just straightforward, like, oh, this happened 20, 30 years ago.
But then in that scenario, Riley, then we would still be asking the question, is Affleck going to return as Batman after that movie? Because if that's told in a flashback, we still need a Batman to hang out with all these other superheroes we're building, right?
Yeah, you do. I think the best thing for them to do is to, if they do recast, it looks that way. I mean, I think there's been a fan wish to have Batman maybe bookend the story. It starts with, it's like that young Indiana Jones chronicle when Harrison Ford's playing the saxophone and goes, I remember the day. And then we cut to Sean Patrick Flannery doing the young Indiana Jones chronicles. So I would love to see that as well, but I think because of the previous point I made where you make the continuity exist with the actors in the roles, recast it, pull a James Bond. Just recast it, make your Batman movie, make Matt Reeves, for all intents and purposes, seems to be saying, I want to do my Batman movie, and it doesn't call for Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck is on Twitter saying everything's cool. I can't wait to see this. Let's move on from Affleck. Let's get a new actor in there. Let's get excited about that and get a hell of a good Batman movie, a rogue gallery, maybe a long Halloween adaptation, what have you. And then that actor shows up alongside a Gal Gadot, a Jason Momoa, and a Henry Cavill, damn it.
There just seems to, despite the cries for Henry Cavill Superman, there just seems to be more optimism around these announcements than there has been in years past with Warner Brothers DC. And I'm just racking my brain to figure out why, because I feel it too. I feel very excited reading all this stuff, and
Same.
I take this as gospel now. Whereas if these same reports came out a couple years ago, you would take it with a massive grain of salt. Now I'm seeing this and I'm just already getting myself prepared for the summer of 2021. What has been the shift? Was it Aquaman making all that money? Was it still that we're having some cultural resonance from Wonder Woman's release? What is the reason that we're now feeling optimism?
It's Aquaman. It's absolutely Aquaman.
So like if he can do it, anybody.
Yes, absolutely. Aquaman was the butt of the jokes for many, many years.
Right.
Family Guy parodied him. Entourage did it.
The State had a great
The State,
Justice
that's
League
right.
sketch.
So, when you look at how fans reacted, and with the box office, they're going back multiple times. This thing, $1 billion. I think everybody in Warner Brothers went, oh, okay. Now, what worked? Well, what worked was getting James Wan, letting him do his thing, letting Jason Momoa have some fun. Just look at that, and they're doing it right now. If Matt Reeves is saying, I don't need Ben Affleck, and that's trumping that, then you're on to something, I think. Patty Jenkins, they just followed the mold. Wonder Woman worked box office with critics. She's on 1984. Keep doing that. Keep letting your filmmakers do your thing. Let the movies play. See how it does at box office. But I think they're very happy over there at Warner Brothers, and this shift is showing. And that kind of change in course was I think I actually saw it happen in the middle of Justice League when Joss Whedon came in, and that movie was a Frankenstein's monster, but there was a course correction in the middle of that movie, which I think led to a lot of people not really liking it. But then here we are with Aquaman, same with Shazam, 1984. We're off and running right now, and I think it's in a good way.
Well, yeah, Dennis, Riley and I clearly have had some fizzy lifting drinks. Are you joining us as we float up or are you gonna keep?
focused.
No, I'm with you guys. I think, imagine if Justice League hadn't come out and it had gone from Wonder Woman to Aquaman.
Right.
Wow.
Justice League was the thing that kind of like where people are like, oh my God, like here's a movie that has three of the most famous, iconic superheroes together, and it can't even make X amount of money, and people were just like, oh my God. So imagine if it had just gone from the success of Wonder Woman to the success of Aquaman to what, you know, looks to be, I can't say for sure, but it looks to be a good Shazam movie coming soon. And then we have these two, the Suicide Squad and the Batman coming out. Like there you have a lot of good momentum going for the DC universe.